Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with Geekapideia.
What's up, everybody?
We just saw Cocaine Bear.
And it was amazing.
Personally, in terms of gore, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 5. It doesn't get a 10 out of 10 with me just simply because there wasn't enough blood splatter and gut-wrenching scenes.
I feel like it got a little more gorier as it went because it was kind of tame in the beginning. Then right in the end, we just see this guy's guts just get ripped out of his stomach, and yeah, it just goes from 0 to 11.
I would have given it 8 if the guts got pulled out by the claws instead of just falling out.
Yeah, they mostly fall out. The only thing it gets as close to going is, I believe it's the bear cubs. They grab the
they start to eat.
Yeah. They grab the intestines, but they're already out.
For those of you who don't know, Cocaine Bear was based on a much more tame, real story.
Yeah.
Basically, these drug dealers, they fly over Chattahoochee National Park in Georgia. They get caught by the cops. They're dumping the cocaine out of the plane. Bear finds it, eats it, gets high, runs 100 yards, and has a heart attack.
Yeah.
Well, they made a horror movie based off of that, a horror comedy. Yeah. And the comedy, I'm going to give a 7 out of 5 as well. It would have scored higher with me if they took the opportunity to emphasize a couple of scenes. Like, there's one where the bear jumps out of a room onto a door, covering a paramedic, and it roars. It would have been funnier if it roared a little and then like a stream of saliva, human parts, and cocaine dust just belched off and out of the bear.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the humor they were grabbing it from was pretty much based on the absurdity of the premise. Because me personally, before I heard of this movie, I didn't know this was something that actually happened. I didn't know that a black bear really ingested a bunch of cocaine.
Well, I think to animals, cocaine like windshield wiper fluid tastes like sugar to them. Fun fact, that's why dogs will drink windshield wiper fluid if you leave it out. To them, it tastes like sugar.
But yeah, the humor, I'm about like you. I would give the humor around 7.5 as well, just because there were jokes in this movie, but a lot of them didn't really land. And of course, I feel like they were focusing a little bit more on the gore and the absurdity of the fact that they're being chased by a bear on cocaine.
Yeah, and like I said, if you're going to make a horror movie, it does need to have gore, but I also feel like they gave the bear too many cutesy scenes.
Yeah, especially in the beginning, in the very beginning. I think it was the very beginning.
It was someone nearing the middle.
Yeah, it was when the bear was it was attacking this hiker couple, and he'd eaten the wife. Later, he eats the husband in the movie, but he eats the wife first, and right when he's done mauling her, this butterfly flies on its nose, and you just get a little cutesy scene with it. So yeah, they tried to portray the bear as somewhat cute, so I kind of wish they had gone more of the route of this thing's crazy, which they do, but they I feel like they could have done a little bit more.
And we are doing this review right outside the AMC theater here in Bloomington.
Yeah, this is a fresh review, our fresh thoughts. We literally just got out of the movie.
Yeah. I would be okay with the cutesy scenes, like the one where it just ingests a shit ton of coke at the gazebo. That one I was okay with, because it's just taking effect and not making it go crazy yet.
Yeah. Plus, I think that scene, it ate more cocaine than it usually. Because usually it would rip the bag open and ingest it, but there would still be some left behind. But this time, it gulped the whole bag full of the cocaine down.
Well, I think it also dragged the bag back to its den for its cubs. But in that scene where the cop rips open the cocaine to distract the bear, I feel like the cop was it was almost like he was meant to be stupid at first, and then we see no, he's just a good guy, just awesome. I can see my workplace from here, I think.
But the cast was really good, I thought. the mother and daughter had a good amount of chemistry, I thought. The mother is played by Kerry Russell. You might know her. She was in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. It was like a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah. And the boy and girl's relationship, we can obviously tell they're going to be together.
Yeah, the boy had a crush on her.
He was simping hard, carving their initials into a tree with a heart. I'm marking our territory now. I'm just.
He was just writing their initials on the tree.
I'm just entering prepubescent adolescence here.
Yeah. But then again, I kind of wish there was a little bit more of them, because the daughter, she ran off while the boy climbed a tree to get away from the bear.
And there's the thing we need to mention. Climbing a tree to avoid a black bear is a bad idea.
Yeah, they can climb.
Because a black bear can climb a tree. You wouldn't think this, but a black bear can climb a tree. And if you're going to, and if the only way you can get away from a black bear is to climb, you need to climb to almost near the very top where the bear, if I can talk, where the bear cannot go, because the bear can only climb up so high before the tree will snap under its weight.
Yeah.
A human can go twice the height of a bear because we are lighter. A brown and grizzly bear, however, cannot climb trees. So that's why if it's black, you fight back. If it's brown, get on the ground. That's where that saying comes from.
What else? There was another scene that we noticed. I can't think of it.
I know, we just watched this shit too.
It'll come to us.
Yeah. I think it was
near either the middle or the end.
Oh yeah, when that drug dealer dude got stabbed by these teens.
Oh yeah.
Like, so these teens, they were on coke, obviously. Yeah,
They had found the coke out there as well.
And they tried to stab this dude with a switchblade. Didn't go so well. He took down one big dude and two medium-sized dudes, about half the size of me in about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, they tried that shit with me. Like, any of y'all who see my cutting videos know how I can handle a blade. They would have been dead.
Just think of 3 me's trying to take on this guy.
Yeah, he gonna die.
Yeah, I'm gonna die 3 times.
I get a triple TKO.
Yeah.
But overall, the movie was very entertaining.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that, like, die laughing comedy. It was, you still had the horror elements.
Yeah.
And there were even some moments, like, the shock scares got us.
Yeah, like, I'm a scaredy cat anyway, so I kept jumping at everything.
Yeah, he's a coward.
Yeah, even at one part, it got you, didn't you say?
Yeah, it was when I thought that the bear would, like, just, she was hiding behind the tree like this, looking all around, and I thought at one point, like, okay, the bear is obviously behind you, and then everything went silent, and then bear paw slapped the tree.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, that actually got me a little bit. Like, it didn't, like, make me jump, but I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. And if you know him, it's hard to catch him by surprise, right?
Pretty much. Because usually, I'm on my guard even when I'm in my room asleep. The littlest noise causes me to jump.
Yeah.
Like, Geekapedia's dog, Elvis. Like, how many times did he make me jump when I was over that one time?
A lot.
Mostly because he kept getting his little paws in an area where it was uncomfortable.
He's a crazy devil. Sometimes the people on my channel get apart.
I was going to make my standard jump.
No. Anyway, changing the subject. We're gonna talk about cocaine better again. And a negative I gotta say I had was in the beginning it was a little slow. I feel like they took too much time trying to set everything up.
Well, I do feel like the first 3 minutes of the movie did kind of feel slow. We had that, I guess he was Norwegian.
I think so.
Norwegian or Scandinavian by his accent. But we had that dude just going on and on, like, I want to marry this woman. I want to have my baby with this woman.
And then she dies.
Yeah, for 3 minutes straight. Then they see the bear. And when you see a bear just banging its head off of a tree and doing shit that a bear normally wouldn't do, because in reality, bears, don't know why, but bears are actually scared of humans to an extent. They don't register us as prey animals.
Mm-hmm. If it were I on cocaine, then I could see them staying and watching it.
You on cocaine would just be you but flailing around.
Yeah.
Me on cocaine would be the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh gosh.
It's like,
I'm like, everybody, we got a problem. Outlaw Samurai got hold of cocaine. What?
It's like, here's Outlaw!
Then you're like, good news, guys. Geekapideia, you got into cocaine. He's gonna be asleep for the whole weekend.
I was like, I like purple and having sex with teddy bears.
I'm just passed out on my bed.
He just looks at me like, how did you know my secret fantasies? We do this. It's like my grandma. We do this all the time. I'm the only one who gets to insult him.
Yes.
Anyone else does it, they get bodily harm.
Uh-huh. Don't insult me unless your name is Outlaw Samurai.
Yeah, or else,
Yeah.
But in any case, they did spend too much time in the beginning setting the whole shit up. I mean, if it was like, we see the it started off with dropping the cocaine, and then it immediately switched over to that Norwegian guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And then we saw the bear attack, and then, like I said, if you see a bear just banging its head off of a fucking tree, get the fuck out of there, okay? That is not something that is normal for a bear to do.
It's one thing if it's doing normal bear stuff like rubbing its back on the tree.
Yeah, that's scent marking, like, a bear will, like, kind of paw up on you or stuff like that, but they will more times than not run away, especially if you make yourself look bigger.
Yeah.
Or if you roar. Personally, that's when I pull out the 500 Smith & Wesson Glocky. Pew-pew-pew.
Yeah. And two, as long as you're not around its like cubs, then it works.
No, that will be that. A mother bear will charge you if you're around its cubs.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that they will do. That's protecting their cubs. I'm still taking it out if you charge at me.
Yeah.
I mean, mother bear, cubs, that just equals meat in my freezer for me, but...
You're crazy. Actually.
No, I'm an opportunistic. It's like, come here, Bambi. I know that your mom died, but now that you're at 10 point, yeah, I don't feel sorry for you anymore.
That's the canon end to Disney's Bambi.
That's the canon end. Bambi ended up on my wall.
Which look up and I go, why is this name Bambi? And you're like, is that the last thing it told me?
It's like, it's right up against the Beast and Gaston. I'm like, why is Gaston's head mounted on my wall?
Why is Gaston?
Simple. He said that no one was greater than Gaston. That was more than enough for me to prove him wrong.
How did we get off topic?
I don't.
This was a Cocaine Bear review.
This is us.
Okay. Anyway, Cocaine Bear. How would you rank the movie overall?
Overall, for an entertainment value, I'd definitely give it an 8. It does keep you interested. The beginning is kind of slow for a horror movie.
Yeah.
But then again, some of the best horror movies do kind of start out slow for build-up. In terms of realism, I'd have to give it like a 3 because a bear that's suffering from rabies or sickness would kind of act like Cocaine Bear, but not to that extent.
Yeah.
And finally, for gore and comedy, both 7.5 for both scores. And you, Geekapideia?
I'm about the same. This is definitely a movie where you don't really have to think. Like you just gotta turn your brain off.
This is just literally, it is a bear high off its fuck on cocaine, killing and slaughtering people. Why do I have to think like, I mean, if you're like us and your mind works that way, you're like, what would this be in real life?
Yeah.
Well, we overanalyze shit, and you know, like, long-time viewers of my channel know my bitching and rambles.
Yeah, I mean, we're those kind of people, we will sit down and analyze this. Like, would this be a realistic outcome if we ate a black man cocaine?
We will analyze every hair on that bear's ball sack if we had to for the physics of how it swings.
We're like Death Battle.
No, we're even more in-depth. We will analyze the power level of Goku's hair.
That needs to be our next collab.
It was
We
like,
need to do something. Analyze a character.
it will be like a 20-hour video on Goku's one singular hair follicle.
What turns it golden? What changes his hair color when it turns Super Saiyan?
I mean, is it like a bleaching thing?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, I gotta say, I gotta give it a 7.5 out of 10 as well. Maybe leaning towards an 8, because there were some scenes I noticed where a lot of the characters were kind of like off. Like the one police officer who was on the gazebo.
Yeah.
We immediately cut to him on top. And while he does explain that, oh, I jumped onto it from a tree,
I can kind of, given his body mass and age, I wouldn't really like. I'd be more like, damn, he was able to get up in the tree in the first place.
yeah.
But no, it's like, with me, it's more like, I could believe, like, if you were in your early 30s and you were physically fit, and it never showed the tree. Like, what tree are you talking about? It's like,
He like just pointed like that. He goes, I jumped off from that tree over there.
if it was like if the gazebo was geekapideia and the tree was here, I could believe that. But if it's like from all the way back here, there ain't no way he's jumping the 15 feet I just walked.
Yeah. Especially for his age, because he did seem like he was much older than a lot of the other cast members.
I think he was supposed to be like his early 40s.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was. Early 40s, late 50s.
So, and he even said he injured his hip, so he's not in the best condition physically to be jumping from a 15-foot tree. Now, there is one way I could believe that, and that is if he angled the jump.
Yeah.
Like if the gazebo is here and he was up here, because whenever someone jumps, they will actually fall in a forward angle. Right? This is why when you push something off of the counter, it doesn't just drop immediately. It goes a little ways from the counter. So if he was like up here and then he jumped onto the gazebo, it would be believable. But given the gazebo's probable age of being almost 30, 40 years old, and his weight and everything, I feel like the gazebo's roof would just have caved in and he would have more than likely suffered severe injuries or died.
Especially from jumping onto it.
So it's not really a realistic answer, like, oh, I just jumped because I'm a fucking Olympic athlete in disguise. No. If you jumped, you'd be either dead or dying.
And then, too, of course, I'm just going to put this out there. We're going to get a little bit further into spoilers. Like, earlier we were talking like general stuff, but here we're going to get more specifics.
Yeah, I'll put a spoiler warning in the video description or the title.
But that same cop that we was talking about, they weren't really clear about if he died or not. Like, yeah, we saw him get shot, and it's implied that he died.
Yeah.
But we don't really see him die. Like, the last thing we see is him looking up to the sky and kind of talking to himself. Then we never see or hear from him again.
Well, here's the thing. If you he got gut shot, and generally speaking, depending on the area in the gut where you get shot, gut shots usually take a couple of hours to maybe days to kill you, depending on blood loss. And he didn't look like he lost all that blood. He might have just fell unconscious. And that in its own right, if you fall unconscious, then you can no longer keep pressure on your wounds to minimize the blood loss, and your blood will just pump freely like when you're sleeping. So he may have very well died in the time span, unless that backup, the one traitor cop was talking about, got there in time.
Yeah.
or when she went back, she like bandaged his wounds or something, which I would actually, it'd be more believable if she was to climb a tree and jump over.
Yeah, because she was a lot younger.
Yeah. Or even like just...
The female cop is what we're talking about.
Well, if there were like rafters in
Uh-huh.
the, like, it'd be more believable if she just stood the table up on its end and climbed onto the edge and then jumped up and pulled herself onto a raft
Yeah.
and got through that little hole.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought too. Then, I had something that I forgot. It had something to do with the three, like the park ranger and the two EMTs.
Yeah, the EMT that found the bear in the room, like, he was just like, okay, I'm gonna close this here door and, run!
Yeah. But what I didn't like about that, because we have a chase scene where they're driving the ambulance away and the bear just chasing after them.
Like, the bear is literally keeping pace with a
Yeah.
fucking... Now, ambulances aren't made for speed, but they can still exceed 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Bears cannot go that fast.
Yeah. Except this sucker, because he was on cocaine.
Well, the cocaine was making the bear's body go through an adrenaline rush, making the bear breathe harder, pumping more air to his muscles, pumping more blood, allowing it to run faster.
Yeah. Well,
That's why in the 1930s they actually put straight cocaine into Coca-Cola. That's where it gets its name.
yeah.
In the 1930s they put actual cocaine in Coca-Cola.
I didn't even know
Yeah, it's a fact. That's where the Coke in Coca-Cola gets its name.
that. They still do that?
No, they don't do that anymore. That was like in the 1930s, 40s, when Coke was first made.
Would that count as like a drug then? Like
No,
the
not
Coca-
in the... It was made as an energy drink.
Okay.
But,
Well, with that said, you think we should wrap it up? You got anything else to say?
not much. I mean, it's what I'd call an R-rated family film, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I'd say too. Like Deadpool 2.
Kinda. It's not something you want your, like, 10-year-olds to
Yeah,
watch.
I wouldn't show them this. It's not heavy on swears, but they're in there. It's mostly like a lot of the gore and
The gore I'd show a 10-year-old. I'd show a 10-year-old. I'd show my 10-year-old Deadpool or
That's
shit
just
like
him though. Yeah.
But normal people aren't as don't give a fuck attitude as I do.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm kind of mixed up why I'd show a little kid this movie, but
It's more like if it's a movie like you and the boys watch, like a drinking game kind of thing. Like how whenever the bear eats cocaine, you take a shot
yeah. Yeah.
or something like that.
It's more like that. Have fun with the bros.
Yeah. Or like if you and your elder kids are like when your little siblings go to sleep and you have a family movie night, this is like something you could watch.
Yeah.
It's not something you'd want to watch with like the little kids because they're going to either go to school or they're going to ask you when it's over, what does fuck mean?
Yeah. Or they're gonna be traumatized by the bear.
I wouldn't say it's traumatizing. There's nowhere near much gore to traumatize.
Just by the fact that the bears attack.
That wouldn't be traumatizing. No, watching fucking Leprechaun when you're 6 years old, that's traumatizing.
Yeah. That explains.
My aunt had fucked up taste, and I got fucked up for watching some of the shit she watched. Don't make me catch you these hands.
Please don't hurt me. We're good friends.
Like, I warned you.
Okay, with that, 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, about the same. All in all, if I was going to do it, since I did it in separate categories out of 100, I think it would equal like what, 50?
Not really.
No, not that high.
Nah. 75.
Yeah, 75 out of 100. And Geekapedia.
Same thing with me.
Yeah. So this has been Outlaw Samurai featuring Geekapedia on our live review of Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Cocaine Bear, get in line, February 24th.
hopefully, we're going to be reviewing some knockoff movies they based on this. Meth Gator and Cocaine Shark, which will be coming out soon.
I also want to make a real-life cocaine chicken and throw it into his room.
Oh no, please don't.
He's terrified of birds, and I use that against him.
Don't judge me, people.
Oh, they're judging. This is YouTube.
Yeah, it's YouTube.
I was like, if you don't want to be judged, don't make YouTube videos.
That is true.
But until next time, my noble band of outlaws, Outlaw Samurai tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe in using your weapons, and look forward to a more detailed breakdown that we can do right now of Cocaine Bear by Geekapedia at a later date.
Yeah, it'll be up sometime this week.
All right. So, I'm out. Peace.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.